Is Kim Yoo-jung's Dear Ex a masterpiece or just hype? What if the glittering crown of stardom concealed not just secrets, but a labyrinth of shattered lives and vengeful shadows that could topple an empire in a single, unforgiving whisper? In the heart of Busan's vibrant cinematic whirlwind, where the sea breeze carries whispers of untold stories from across Asia, the 30th Busan International Film Festival unfolded like a meticulously scripted thriller, its screens alive with the pulse of innovation and raw emotion. This year's edition, marking a milestone anniversary, wasn't just a gathering of films, it was a bold evolution, introducing for the first time a competitive section for Asian cinema, featuring around 14 daring entries vying for the newly minted Busan Awards, prizes for Best Film, Best Director, and more, that promised to redefine the festival's legacy. Amid this electric atmosphere, TVING's original series Dear Ex emerged as a beacon of intrigue, adapted from the wildly popular Naver Webtoon by Baek Ah-jin, which first captivated readers in 2019 with its unflinching dive into the psyche of a woman who wields charm like a weapon. The webtoon, originally titled something akin to a parry in a deadly duel, evolved into Dear Ex, a title that hauntingly nods to the anonymous victims trampled in the ascent to power, much like the X marking the graves of those left behind in Baek Ah-jin's ruthless climb. Premiering in the festival's on-screen section, dedicated to eagerly awaited OTT series, Dear Ex offered an exclusive glimpse into its world through episodes 1 and 2, screened to a crowd whose fervor sold out tickets in mere moments, a testament to the insatiable hunger for stories that blur the line between adoration and dread. As the lights dimmed in the grand halls of the Busan Cinema Center, one couldn't help but feel a shiver of anticipation, not just for the plot's serpentine twists, but for how this series might mirror the very festival around it, a dazzling facade hiding depths of complexity and occasional controversy, much like the plagiarism whispers that briefly shadowed its promotional poster earlier in September, only to be swiftly addressed by the production team with a redesigned version that kept the focus squarely on the narrative's magnetic pull. The story of Dear Ex centers on Baek Ah-jin, portrayed with mesmerizing duality by Kim Yoo-jung, an actress whose journey from the ashes of a childhood scarred by domestic violence to the pinnacle of Korean entertainment is as intoxicating as it is insidious. In the webtoon that birthed this tale, Ah-jin learns early to mask her turmoil, reading the hidden desires of others like a predator scanning for weakness, surviving not through vulnerability, but through calculated manipulation, a theme that resonates deeply in an industry where public personas often eclipse private agonies. Kim Yoo-jung, fresh from her chaebol heiress in the supernatural rom-com My Demon and her hilariously transformed role in Netflix's Chicken Nugget, steps into this adult metamorphosis with a poise that feels both familiar and utterly transformative. Her beauty, as co-star Kim Yi-kyung would later gush, leaves one breathless every time, like rediscovering a masterpiece in a new light. Yet, it's Ah-jin's hidden cruelty, the devilish side that erupts when provoked or when ambition demands sacrifice, that propels the melodrama into suspenseful territory, exploring how one woman's facade crumbles under the weight of her own machinations. Watching the premiere unfold on screen, the audience's collective gasp at her first calculated betrayal evoked a peculiar thrill, a reminder that true artistry lies in making the monstrous relatable, in forcing us to confront the monsters we might harbor within. This downfall isn't mere tragedy, it's a symphony of consequences, where every X in the title represents a life irrevocably altered, from rivals crushed underfoot to lovers ensnared in her web, echoing the webtoon's global fanbase that devoured its weekly installments for that exact rush of forbidden empathy. At the helm of this descent into moral ambiguity stands director Lee Young-bok, a visionary whose filmography reads like a hall of fame for K-drama's most unforgettable sagas. Think the heart-wrenching romance of Descendants of the Sun, where soldiers and doctors danced on the edge of war and love. The ethereal fantasy of Goblin, blending mythology with modern melancholy in ways that still haunt binge-watchers' dreams. Or the epic sweep of Mr. Sunshine, a historical odyssey through Joseon-era turmoil that earned international acclaim for its lush visuals and layered performances. Lee's touch in Sweet Home, the Netflix horror series that turned everyday apartments into apocalyptic battlegrounds, showcased his knack for blending genre thrills with profound human stakes, a skill that infuses Dear Ex with a tension as taut as a bowstring. co-directing with the rising Park So-hyun, whose fresh perspective adds layers of psychological nuance drawn from writer Choi Ja-won's award-winning scripts, like her grand prize win at the 2018 KBS One-Act Drama Contest. Lee brings to the adaptation a confidence that the producer, Kim Ryun-hee, described as unparalleled, insisting he was the ideal choice for a webtoon with such a fervent fandom. There's something profoundly satisfying about witnessing a director of Lee's caliber tackle a story so steeped in duality. It feels like watching a master painter apply shadows to a portrait already brimming with light, creating a depth that lingers long after the credits roll, much as his previous works have etched themselves into cultural memory, spawning fan theories, memes, and endless rewatches that speak to their timeless allure. Flanking Ah-jin in this tangled dance of devotion and destruction are two men whose contrasting loves form the emotional core of Dear Ex, each performance a masterclass in restrained intensity that left the Biff crowd murmuring in hushed awe. Jun Seo, brought to life by Kim Young-dae, the charming heir from My Demon, who here trades supernatural flair for grounded torment, chooses a path of self-annihilation to shield Ah-jin, his loyalty a flame that consumes him even as it illuminates her shadows. In the webtoon, Jun Seo's arc delves into the sequel-like title Dear Ex, revealing his own criminal undercurrents that mirror Ah-jin's deceptions, a narrative thread that the series amplifies with flashbacks to their shared pasts, hinting at a bond forged in mutual survival. Kim Young-dae, during the festival's guest visit the day before the main event, captured this essence with disarming candor, admitting that even objectively, the series gripped him like a vice, encouraging viewers to brace for a catharsis that episodes 1 and 2 only tease. His chemistry with Kim Yoo-jung crackles on screen, a slow burn intensity that feels achingly real, evoking that rare pang of recognition when fiction echoes the irrational pulls of our own hearts. How love can blind us to the precipice, turning protectors into pawns. Opposing him is Kim Do-hoon as the devoted Kim Jae-oh, whose unwavering allegiance to Ah-jin borders on obsession, a character who, in the source material, embodies the pleasure of immorality that producer Kim Ryun-hee so vividly described. A strange, addictive allure where you can't quite hate, love, or look away from the chaos they unleash together. As the outdoor stage greeting at the Busan Cinema Center drew the festival's first waves of fans under the starlit sky, the air hummed with an infectious energy that transformed the seaside venue into a living extension of the drama's themes, public adoration masking private vulnerabilities. Kim Yoo-jung, radiant in a gown that caught the ocean's glow, stepped forward first, her voice laced with genuine warmth as she thanked the crowd for their enthusiasm, noting how many had traveled far just to say the screening was fun, a simple word that belied the labyrinthine emotions they'd just witnessed. Announcing the November 6th premiere on TVING, with a smile that hinted at the secrets to come, she credited Lee Eung-bok's direction as the series' biggest charm, his track record of crafting widely loved works, like Mount Jiri's Supernatural Chills or School 2013's Youthful Rebellions, ensuring that Dear Ex would resonate on multiple levels. There's an endearing humility in her reflections, a reminder that even stars like Yoo-jung, who first enchanted audiences as a child in Moon Embracing the Sun, feel the weight of expectation. Yet her poised gratitude stirred a warm affection in the audience, making the event feel less like a press junket and more like a shared conspiracy among friends reveling in a guilty pleasure. Kim Young-dae followed, his easy charisma cutting through the night like a lighthouse beam, emphasizing how the early episodes zero in on the focus on relationships, those fragile threads of trust and betrayal that bind Ah-jin to her orbit. He promised a sense of catharsis for viewers, a release that the webtoon's fans had long debated in online forums, dissecting how Jun Seo's destructive choices offer not just pain, but a twisted liberation from societal masks. It's this promise of emotional payoff that makes his encouragement so compelling. In a festival brimming with experimental shorts and documentaries, his words grounded Dear Ex in the universal, leaving one with a lingering excitement, as if he'd personally invited us to the unraveling. Kim Do-hoon, ever the Joker, lightened the mood with a humorous aside about expecting praise for his looks, amid the praise for Yoo-jung's, teasing the lovable characters scattered throughout, like the rival Im Rae-na, played by Lee Yul-yoon, a former idol harboring unspoken feelings for Jun Seo that add electric tension to the ensemble. Yet, beneath the levity, Do-hoon's admission of nerves during the preview previewed the cast's hard work. He spoke of the pride swelling in his chest as the audience immersed themselves, their silent, rapt attention a silent ovation that validated months of grueling shoots, including his own bike accident on set that tested the team's resilience. That vulnerability, shared under the open sky, humanized him, turning a star into someone you'd root for off-screen. His devotion to Ah-jin mirroring the cast's own fierce commitment to the project. Kim Yi-kyung, stepping into her first viewing of the episodes at BIFF, brought a fresh wave of excitement to the stage, her nervous and excited confession mirroring the crowd's own butterflies as the lights had flickered earlier that day. As a seasoned actress whose roles often delve into familial intricacies, she praised Yoo-jung's beauty anew, highlighting the transformation into an adult role that showcased not just visuals, but a depth of acting range poised to redefine the star's career. Much like how the webtoon elevated Ban Ji-yoon from quarter-finalist in Naver's contest to a thriller auteur, Yi-kyung's expectation that audiences would enjoy the series felt prophetic, especially as she wove in anecdotes from rehearsals, where the cast's chemistry sparked organically, fostering bonds that bled into their portrayals of contrasting loves. J.O.'s blind devotion versus Jun Seo's halting intervention. It's this interplay, she implied, that elevates Dear X beyond mere suspense, blending romantic elements with a destructive melodrama that explores how Ah-jin dons her mask to escape her circumstances and claw toward the highest place. Her words evoked a quiet thrill, a sense that in Yi-kyung's eyes, the series wasn't just entertainment, but a mirror to the masks we all wear, making her enthusiasm contagiously profound. Producer Kim Ryun-hee closed the greetings with a flourish of unbridled confidence, her belief in Lee Eung-bok as the perfect adapter rooted in the webtoon's strong fandom, a global legion that translated episodes into multiple languages, fueling debates on platforms like Reddit, where fans dissected its intensely dark deep dive into sociopathy as a fascinating case study of implicated lives. She dubbed Dear X the best work, in her opinion, a bold claim backed by Studio Dragon's production muscle and Monster Union's meticulous execution, promising the pleasure of immorality, where Ah-jin's complexities evoke that elusive, strange pleasure of conflicted attachment. Ryun-hee's passion was palpable, her description of the series as offering catharsis through its exploration of trampled X's, those faceless casualties of ambition, resonating like a director's commentary on the industry itself. In that moment, under the festival's twinkling lights, one felt the full weight of her vision. Not just a show, but a cultural event designed to provoke, to linger, much like the webtoon serialization every Saturday that built a ritualistic following, turning readers into evangelists for its unflinching truths. Yet, Dear X didn't premiere in isolation at BIFF. It nestled within a tapestry of cinematic gems that amplified the festival's milestone magic, from the opening night's black comedy thriller No Other Choice by Park Chan-wook, a tale of an ordinary man thrust into moral quandaries to protect his family, starring heavyweights like Lee Byung-hun, Sun Ye-jin, and Park Hee-soon, whose red carpet poise set a tone of elegant intrigue. Park's film, with its sharp wit and ethical tightrope, echoed Dear X's themes of hidden facades, leaving audiences chuckling nervously at the overlaps, as if the festival itself were curating a dialogue on deception across screens. The star-studded opening ceremony, hosted by Lee Byung-hun and graced by international luminaries like Mila Jovovich, Tony Leung Ka-fai, Ken Watanabe, Jafar Panahi, who received the Asian Filmmaker of the Year award for his defiant Iranian masterpieces, and even Guillermo del Toro, turned the Busan Cinema Center's outdoor theater into a global crossroads, broadcast live on Naver TV and CHZZK for virtual attendees worldwide. Panahi's speech, a poignant call for cinema's role in resistance, added a layer of gravitas that made Dear X's suspense feel timely, a microcosm of larger battles against oppression. Diving deeper into BIFF's offerings, the new competition section spotlighted Asian trailblazers, including Indian entries like Biplab Sarkar's The Magical Men, an LGBTQ+ themed collaboration across Singapore, France, Bangladesh, and India that pushed boundaries with its innovative storytelling, much as Dear X challenges norms around female ambition. In the Vision Asia lineup, Tribhuvan Ree's Shape of Momo offered a poignant slice of northeastern Indian life, its quiet introspection contrasting the high-stakes glamour of Ah-jin's world, yet both evoking that shared human ache for authenticity amid artifice. Han So-hee and Jeon Jong-seo's Project Y, a female-led crime thriller in the festival's highlights, celebrated rising voices in Korean cinema, their red carpet chemistry a nod to the empowering narratives BIFF has long championed since its inception in 1996 as the Busan International Film Festival, evolving from a modest showcase to Asia's premier event with initiatives like the Asian Project Market fostering new talents. The expanded icon section, boasting a record 33 masterworks from auteurs like Jim Jarmusch and Abbas Kiarostami retrospectives, provided reflective counterpoints to Dear X's forward momentum, reminding viewers that downfall often precedes rebirth, a sentiment echoed in the festival's Request Cinema public voting that democratized selections. The pre-festival buzz kicked off by the 30th Eve event on September 16th at Biff Square in Nampodong, hosted by Lee Jong-hyuk and Park Yu-ri, with performances by singer Bada and honors for local directors Yoon Jae-kyun and Jung Woo as Busan's beloved film icons, built an undercurrent of community that permeated Dear X's screenings. Attendees, from die-hard webtoon enthusiasts clutching fan art to casual cinephiles drawn by the OTT hype, filled the outdoor spaces with chatter about how the series' 12-episode arc would unpack Ah-jin's dual lives, perhaps delving into Reina's rivalry or Jaeho's shadowy encounters glimpsed in the moody blue-tone teaser trailer released in August. That trailer, with its haunting soundtrack and dramatic lighting, had already positioned Dear X as TVING's flagship for the season, alongside cameos like Hwang and Yoops that teased interconnected K-drama universes. The festival's 7 theaters, screening 328 films across genres, created serendipitous pairings. Pair Dear X with a documentary on industry scandals, and suddenly Ah-jin's manipulations feel like a meta-commentary on real-world headlines. As the stage greeting wound down, the cast's collective pride shone through, their collaborative effort a beacon in an industry often fractured by competition. Kim Do-hoon's nod to the team's diligence, from script readings that honed the 2 types of love, devoted ruin versus redemptive halt, to location scouts that captured Seoul's glittering underbelly, underscored how Dear X showcases passionate performances amid its suspense-romance blend. Audience reactions, closely observed by the stars, ranged from wide-eyed immersion to tearful applause, validating Yi-kyung's first-time thrill and Ryun-hee's optimism. In this milieu, where BIF's legacy of empowering Asian voices, from its 1999 Busan promotion plan to the 2002 Asian Network of Documentary Fund, intersects with Dear X's promise of intense emotional engagement, one senses a turning point, a series not just adapting a webtoon, but elevating it into a discourse on power's cost. Reflecting on the webtoon's origins, serialized every Wednesday on Webtoon, with English translations rolling out in 2021 via Daily Pass. Its prologue alone hooked readers with Ah-jin's award night exposé, a news sting that unraveled her marriage announcement into a cascade of revelations. Fans on platforms like Reddit hailed it as a fascinating case study of sociopathy, praising Van Zion's art for its stark contrasts, elegant lines for Ah-jin's poise, jagged shadows for her rage, that the series faithfully recreates with Lee's visual flair. This foundation attracted the production team, Studio Dragon's expertise ensuring a faithful yet amplified adaptation, complete with 12 episodes that expand on subplots like Jun Seo's criminal ties, promising twists that webtoon devotees will dissect for months. The BIF screening, with its immediate sellout, demonstrated sky-high anticipation, the outdoor event engaging fans directly through Q&A teases and photo ops that turned strangers into superfans. Cast chemistry, a narrative focal point, pulses through every frame, from Yoo-jung and Youngdae's charged glances to Do-hoon's brooding loyalty, blending suspense with romance in a way that feels innovative yet timeless. As November 6th approaches on TVING, Dear X stands poised to highlight Kim Yoo-jung's range, her evolution from youthful innocence to complex villainy, a draw that rivals the festival's own star power. In weaving Dear X into Biff's grand narrative, from No Other Choices' ethical dilemmas to Project Y's feminist edge, or Indian gems like Difficult Daughters and Moon that probe family legacies, the 30th edition felt like a love letter to cinema's power to unsettle and unite. The Eve event's musical tributes and awards set a celebratory tone, while masterclasses with programmers like Sundance's Basil Siokos delved into documentary frontiers, enriching the context for Dear X's thriller roots. Park Chan-wook's opener, with its relatable descent into desperation, mirrored Ah-jin's arc, prompting post-screening debates that spilled into Busan streets, where food stalls buzzed with theories. Lee Eung-bok's reputation, burnished by hits like Dream High's Idle Dreams or Secret's Forbidden Loves, enhances Dear X's appeal. His collaboration with Yoo-jung, a highlight that promises fireworks. The webtoon's popularity, with its Encouragement Prize origins, influenced the adaptation, turning a niche thriller into a mainstream event. As the cast expressed pride in their effort, audience immersion at BIFF, gasps, whispers, applause, affirmed the series' grip, Yi-kyung's excitement amplifying the shared joy. Ultimately, Dear X blends suspense and romance into a destructive melodrama, available on TVING from November 6th. It's BIF Bao, a launchpad for emotional depths. In a festival of 328 films, from the magical men's queer tales to Jarmusch retrospectives, it reminds us why we gather. For stories that strip away illusions, leaving us raw, reflective, and utterly hooked on the next unraveling thread. The sea air of Busan, carrying echoes of these narratives, lingers like a promise that in cinema's shadows, truth always finds its spotlight.